Do my eyes deceive me, or do I spy a familiar face who looks like she could do with some proper summer recreation? That's right. The sun's rays are out in full force, and so is our beloved Moonfire Faire. These days, the event doubles as free promotion for the Adventurers Guild, you know. The brave and the bold show off their heroics, and afterwards, the fair guests flock to the guild in droves to hire them. But the real star of the show is the acclaimed Eorzine Nimble Warrior course, bringing in hundreds upon hundreds of new challengers. At any rate, we could really use more help out there. So if perchance I've piqued your interest, I suggest you ship out to Costa del Sol and speak to our chief chaperone, Hermaga.
Kanekatine, now there's a sight for sore eyes. Did Mayaru Moyaru send you out here to lend a hand? This year, the event is shaping up to be a thrill for visitors and staff alike. Allow me to give you a brief outline of what we have planned. In case the screaming and splashing hadn't given it away, we've brought back the Eorzine Nimble Warrior course with all of its explosive challenges intact. And if the summer sun gets to be too much, grant yourself a refreshing reprieve by enjoying an icy treat or playing with the polar bears. Even better, this year we've added a little Far Eastern flair with these hand fans. They're called Uchiwa, and they drive away evil spirits, or so I'm told. To ensure their authenticity, we hired an expert in the art of the festival, a little Namazu fellow, to craft us 100 crates of them. And what color could be more fitting for Moonfire than bright blazing red? Seeing as the origins of the event can be traced back to the bombard hunts of years past, I say Uchiwa are a perfect fit for the spirit of the occasion, and judging from the sizable crowds, I'm far from the only one. The downside, of course, is that we presently find ourselves quite ill-equipped to manage a turnout of this magnitude. Personally, I'd like to bolster our security cadre if I can. As it stands, none of us would be able to leave our posts in the event of a serious emergency. So, given the fortuitous timing of your arrival, could I ask you to...
Monster!
Did she say monster? Damn it all. The people are starting to panic. Please, Kanekatine, you've got to help us. I'll stay here and try to keep the crowd calm. You head north and find that woman.
The monster was just here, I swear it! It was leering at me from behind that rock, making these off-kilter little motions, and then it ran off to the east. I thought for certain it would come over here and... Oh, I feel faint. I need to go lie down.
Now where'd my little friend sneak off to?
Damn, I didn't stand a chance against that thing. You should have seen it. I was minding my own business out here, practicing my steps, when suddenly that thing showed up out of nowhere to challenge me to a dance-off. Then, after it utterly trounced me, it raced off again. Would that I could tell you where or even which direction. Although, come to think of it, I believe I saw something fall from its body. Well, it doesn't much matter to me anymore. I can hear summer's call, and it must be heeded. To the ocean with me. Whatever fell off the thing, you'll find it lying over there if you think it will help your search.
Aha, there she is. Glad as ever to see you again, Kanekatine. Hermaga told us you might be in need of urgent assistance, so here we are.
We've heard reports of a green monster running amok. Have you learned aught in the way of a clue?
It dropped something, did it? Looks to be a needle by my reckoning.
Cactuars in La Noskia of all places? Surely they would struggle to survive so far removed from their native habitat of Thanalan.
I'm so sorry about this.
Madam Mameja, if I'm not mistaken, was it not Master Gegaruju himself who invited you out to Costa del Sol? Yes, I traveled all the way from Ul'dah at the summons of my friend Gegaruju. Naturally, I couldn't bear the thought of my dear pets missing out on the fun and festivities, so I brought them along with me. Not for a moment did I ever think they would act out like this. You have my deepest apologies. They were perfect angels when we stopped in to see Gegaruju. He even gave them treats. But the moment I stepped away for a drink, they went mad, and poor Gegaruju couldn't rein them in. By the time I got back, they were gone. I swear to you, this has never happened before. Well, that would certainly explain how a cactuar ended up in La Noscia. Regardless, if your pets pose a danger to the fairgoers, we may have to subdue them by force. No, please. I've raised them since they were pups. They'd never hurt a fly. I don't fancy the prospect myself, but what other option is there? Given that the Moonfire Faire would have no venue were it not for Master Gegaruju, I'd obviously prefer if we didn't upset a dear friend of his.
Yes, termination should be a last resort. Let us first attempt to capture them.
A sensible plan. Should things turn violent, it would only frighten the attendees. This calls for a more subtle approach. Just the three of us, perhaps?
Indeed, I would see this situation sorted swiftly that we might return to the fair. If we work quickly, we may manage to find it before it escapes the bounds of Costa del Sol. Thus, I propose we split up. Kanekotine, my friend, will you search the west side of the island?
This festival will surely offer us the inspiration we need for new visions. The island cries out for chaos, and I intend to deliver.
Did you find something?
It appears she did. But how are we going to capture it?
I've never seen a cactuar look so dangerous. Is it just me, or is it radiating an aura of pure malice?
I've never seen the poor thing like this, either. Come to think of it, Gegaruju told me it seemed to him as though they were possessed. In that case, perhaps the aura is an evil spirit. If only we could purify it somehow. Of course. In the Far East, they use Uchiwa to ward off evil spirits, right? Maybe our festival fans would work.
In that case, allow me to do the honors. Evil spirit, begone, Uchiwa Shoi.
Yes, well, that was easy. Shall we head back for drinks? Terribly sorry to interject, but I think there's been a misunderstanding. That's only one of my dear cactuars. I'm still missing the other 6. I do appreciate you finding cacti, of course, but I'm worried about Cactillo and Cactina and Cactistifer and... Wait, so when you said pets, you brought 7 cactuars to La Noscea?
It is concerning, then, that we scoured every inch of the island and only found one. It appears we will have to take our search to the mainland. Very well, let us take up our Uchiwa and find these cactuars that we might ease them of their torment.
You have learned the emote Uchiwa Shoi.
6 more? Oh. Oh, I'm glad to have cacti back, and hail of mine to boot. Those fans are sure to work their magic on the rest of my dearies.
I take it you're ready to begin? In that case, let us review our objective. First, we must seek out these cactuars. As soon as one is located, placate it with a gust from your Uchiwa, then bring it back here. You, my friend, are in charge of searching the southwestern cliffside.
Please, go and find the rest of my dearies. I'll stay here and keep a firm eye on cacti. You have my word.
The cactuar is dancing like a plant possessed, but a refreshing Uchiwa Shoi ought to do the trick. The cactuar appears to have snapped out of it, whatever it may have been. Eager for your company, it walks right up to you, allowing you to grab it. The cactuar is dancing like a plant possessed, but a refreshing Uchiwa Shoi ought to do the trick. The cactuar appears to have snapped out of it, whatever it may have been. Eager for your company, it walks right up to you, allowing you to grab it.
I only pray we manage to find them all.
You've all done such a great job bringing my dearies back safe and sound. Welcome back. I don't suppose you found any cactuars? And that brings us to 7. Excellent, we're done. And now that that's over with, I think I'll grab myself a drink and find a nice vantage point, preferably somewhere in the shade. Oh, take me with you. I've been dying for a drink.
At last, the crisis is well and truly averted. Now I can return my focus to what matters most, ensuring a spectacular time is had by all. Seeing as Hermaga still needs a status report, could I ask you to see to that? Welcome back, Kanekatine. It seems you had the cactuar crisis well in hand. You've done your part to keep the peace, and for that, I thank you. Now what's this I hear about a malicious aura? Efficacy of the Uchiwa aside, I'd rather like to get to the bottom of this, lest we suffer the same problem next year.
I just wanted to report that the pet cactuars are resting safely away from the main festivities. I asked another chaperone to keep an eye on them. I cannot apologize enough for the trouble I caused.
Yes, well, I am glad to have this matter settled quietly. My lovely ladies were quite frightened. That being said, speaking as one who has seen his share of dancers, your pets have star potential, my dear Mamasia.
Truly? Perhaps I should have them formally trained. You're not seriously going to encourage that behavior, are you? Lest you forget, it was pure coincidence that we found a peaceable solution through the use of our Uchiwa. Were something like this to happen again, that luck may not hold. Surely you don't mean... I've learned my lesson, I swear it. As soon as we're home, I'll ensure they're trained to stay at my side at all times. That's all I ask. Incidentally, did you notice anything that might have served as the catalyst to their cavorting? No, I'm afraid not. I was away at the time, you see.
I thought it quite strange myself. One moment they were downing their wine like sailors, and the next, it was as though they were possessed by some manner of wicked spirit. They were drinking wine, my lord? And what a fine vintage it was. I was delighted to be in like-minded company. Oh, the great conversation we could have had, if only they could speak.
Mamasia, I can't believe I'm asking this, but is wine safe for cactuars? How should I know? I've only ever given them the finest spring water from the mountains of Coerthas myself.
Pah! They barely had a cupful each. And besides, it's not like I poured the stuff down their throats, did I? Alright, look. Perhaps sharing a bottle wasn't the best of ideas, but how was I to know they couldn't hold their drink? Personally, I'm just glad the mystery's been put to rest. And seeing as Mamasia's learned her lesson, I dare say we won't be seeing a repeat of this incident.
Well, just in case someone else gives wine to some other cactuars, I'll be sure to let the chaperone team know to reach for an uchiwa rather than a weapon.
That would be much appreciated, Piobiano. Now let us return to the festival. The Adventurers Guild won't promote itself, you know. As for you, Kanekatine, on behalf of the entire chaperone team, I thank you. Enjoy the remainder of the event, and don't be a stranger, all right?